Sam Brownback has created a large hole in the budget in Kansas. Now, he's the governor there. He said that if you do tax cuts for the rich, that it would actually spur the economy of Kansas and they would have more money. That turned out to be completely untrue. What they did was a huge giveaway to the rich, and the economy of Kansas suffered. There was no trickle-down economics. They didn't get more jobs. They had less jobs. They did worse than the national average, and it created a huge deficit in Kansas. He's filled some of that deficit by cutting education. So, hey, Kansas, you voted for a guy, and by the way, you just reelected him, that gave away all your money to the rich and then cut education for your kids. Brilliant move. But he still has a hole in the budget, a $280 million hole. For the state of Kansas, that is gigantic, right? So how is he going to fill that hole? Well, let's find out. Talking Points memo explains, Brownback offered his proposal for closing that hole last week, a mixture of spending cuts and transferring funds from other parts of the budget to fill it. And the second biggest of those transfers is $55 million in revenue from a Medicaid drug rebate program that was bolstered under the Affordable Care Act. Interesting. In other words, he took $55 million that was created because of Obamacare. Now, wait a minute. I thought you hated Obamacare. What's going on here? All of a sudden, when you're backed up against the wall, Obama, where are you? Please help me, I'll take your Obamacare money. Now, is he saying on the record he's taking Obamacare money? Of course not. In fact, I love this part. Reporters asked him about it, his office. Here's what happened. Here's the whole interaction. When contacted by the news agency, a state health department spokesperson initially told reporter Andy Marceau that Obamacare doesn't have a role in the $55 million that will help save the state's finances. But the spokesperson later corrected themselves, saying they had gotten incorrect information about the ACA's role in the pharmacy rebate program. So yes, in fact, they are taking it from Obamacare. So you hate it for political reasons and you speak out against it, but all of a sudden when you need that money, where's Obama? Where's Obama? Please, please help me, Obama, fill my hole. The dude's name is Brownback, man. What do you want from me? Okay. One more note here. There are no legal restrictions for what states can do with Medicaid rebate money, Bowen said. According to Goosen, it has historically been used to help pay for the state's Medicaid program, but desperate times, desperate measures. So, in other words, I am desperate because I already spent all your money on tax cuts for the rich, and I was supposed to help you guys that are getting Medicaid in my state. Those are people who desperately need health care. That's why they're getting Medicaid. Sorry, you're not going to get that money. Instead, we're going to take it from Obamacare and fill the hole created by the tax cuts. So more help for the rich, more money taken away from the people of Kansas. You keep voting for Brownback, this is what you're going to keep on getting. Hypocrisy, lies, reliance on Obamacare while pretending to do otherwise, and in the end, the money transferred from where it can help you, the average citizen, into the pockets of his donors, the very rich.